Hi students, welcome you all back for the physics online class. In today's session, we are just going to discuss about the chapter 3, which is laws of motion from grade 11. And we have just seen many concepts related to laws of motion in this chapter. And today we are just going to discuss about the concept called to move an object which is going to be easier, whether push or pull. And also along with that, we just discuss about the concept called angle of friction. So whenever an object starts moving or whenever an object experiences motion, there will be an opposing force what has been just created by the contact between the surface and the substance, which is called as friction. So and we're just going to get some idea about the angle of friction in this session. Let us get into the session now. So today we are just going to talk about an interesting concept, which is to move an object which is going to be easier, push or pull. So to understand that, we just get into a situation to identify whether pushing or pulling which is going to be easier. So now we just consider the situation where we push the object to make it in state of motion. So as the consideration goes, so we just going to talk about the condition of pushing an object. So when you just talk about pushing an object, we just consider where the object is being just pushed at an arbitrary angle, where the angle theta is going to be 0 to pi by 2. So 0 to pi by 2, it relates that where the angle will be from 0 to 90 degree, where the force which is being applied on the substance or the object which makes an angle is going to be between 0 to 90 degree, and there will be some amount of force which will be applied on the substance to move the object. So just consider you have been just consider there is a box, a huge box with a mass m, and this box has to move from one place to another place where you are just going to push the object. If you have been just trying to move the object by pushing, where you need to apply some amount of force over the object, this applied force will get resolved into two components, which is parallel as well as perpendicular components, where the parallel component will be just mentioned as f sine theta and the perpendicular component will be just mentioned as f cos theta over here. So in our situation, so I'll just show you a diagram which helps us to just understand the concept easier. Just consider this is the box what we just consider over here with a mass of m, and this box has to just move from a place, from one place to another place. It has to just move. So to move the object where there is some amount of force has been applied over the box, and this force has been resolved into two components as I just mentioned already, f cos theta and f sin theta, which is nothing but the perpendicular and parallel component of the force, applied force. And there is also, when you just try to move the object in one particular direction, there will be opposing force which will be caused by due to the contact between the object and the surface, which is called as frictional force, f of s, which is nothing but the frictional force. And there is a frictional force which is acting on the object, and this is due to the motion of the object, where the object starts to move. As the object starts to move, there will be a static frictional force which acts on the object, which opposes the initiation of motion, as we just discussed in the earlier sessions. And also, whenever you just talk about any substance, there will be two set of forces which will be acting on the object, which is upward and downward force. Here the upward force is nothing but the normal force which acts on the substance, and the downward force is going to be mg, which is nothing but the gravitational force. So to understand what are the types of forces have been acting on the substance very clearly, we use a free body diagram. So free body diagram is just given over here, which helps us to identify the forces. What are the forces acting on the substance or the object? So as you just notice over there, the upward and downward force have been just acting, which is normal force under mg, which is nothing but the gravitational force, and the relative motion. Due to relative motion, there is a frictional force which will be created. There is some amount of force has been applied F to push the object, and there will be opposing force will be created against the applied force, which is called as static frictional force, which is F of S. So these are the conditions about the situation what we just consider over here. So here the total downward force acting on the body is going to be mg plus f cos theta, which is nothing but when you just talk about the downward force what acts on the substance over here, we just come with the idea that the gravitational force which pulls the object down or which helps the object to stay on the ground, that is the one force. And next thing, the perpendicular component of applied force or the vertical component of the applied force, which is nothing but F cos theta. These two forces acts downward. So the total downward force acting on the body is going to be mg plus F cos theta. That is the condition over here, what we just considered. And we just know the situation. According to Newton's third law, for every action, there will be an equal and opposite reaction. If there is some amount of downward force acting on the object, there will be an equal and opposite upward force will be acting on it, which is normal force. So the upward force is going to be equal to the downward force. So upward force will be just mentioned with the symbol N, and the downward force will be just given with mg plus F cos theta. So here if you just notice, as the downward force is greater, mg plus F cos theta, where the F cos theta is the force which has been added to the gravitational force, where the downward force has become greater. As these both are equal in state, is as the downward force increases, where the normal force what is acting on the substance also get increased. The normal force what acts on the substance gets also increased. So according to that, we just consider N push, the normal force which acts on the body during pushing the substance or the object, which is given with the equation of N push is equal to mg plus F cos theta. Mg plus F cos theta, that is the situation what we just consider over here. The normal force what is been applied, which will be equal to mg plus F cos theta, that is given as equation number 1. And if you just notice, there is no acceleration on the vertical part in this scenario, where the object moves horizontally, not on vertical condition, but the object just moves on horizontal direction. So as it goes on horizontal direction, there is no vertical motion, or where we can just say that there is no acceleration takes place at the vertical part. So the equation is given as N is equal to mg plus F cos theta. This is the equation number 1. So now, as we all just know, if the normal force which is acting is being increased, but the static frictional force will also get increased. So N push has been just increases. As N push increases, F of S maximum also increases, because we just know the formula of the static frictional force. I mean the maximum static frictional force. At the state of maximum static frictional force, where the substance starts moving. So the maximum static frictional force is given by mu s into N push. So we just know the value of N push already. So we just substitute the value instead of N push. So F of S is given by mu s into mg plus F cos theta. So this is the maximal static friction what has been experienced by the object due to the motion, which is given as equation number 2. So where the equation 2 implies that there must be a greater force or a higher force need to be applied to push an object into motion. So from this equation, we just come with the idea that there must be a huge force acting on the substance or the object to move it. when you just talk about the condition of pushing the object, there must be a high force or greater force need to be applied to push the object. So that is the condition. So now, once again, we just compare the situation with the condition of pulling an object. So when you just talk about pulling, so we just come with the diagram so that it becomes easy for us to understand. So the same set of box or the block of mass m has been just considered over here, and this object is being pulled with an arbitrary angle of theta, with an arbitrary angle of theta. And this force is also once again get classified into two conditions, two components, parallel component and perpendicular component. Right now, if you just notice over here, on pulling the substance, the perpendicular component acts towards upward, So we just know there will be two set of forces, upward and downward forces. One is normal force and another one is mg, which is nothing but the gravitational force which acts downward. And we always come with the idea of a free body diagram which relates the force what has been acting on the substance or the object. So there is a upward force which is normal and downward force which is mg, and the force what we just apply to pull the object which is force F. And next thing, there is a static frictional force which will be caused against the motion. So now, if you just consider, as we just consider the object which has been pulled at an angle of theta, and we just know the condition, the force what acts on the substance is going to be resolved into two components. One is F cos theta and F sin theta, which is nothing but perpendicular and parallel component. And the downward force acting on the object will be equal to gravitational force, which is mg, which is given as mg. So here, I'm relating both the upward force as well as downward force. Here, if you just notice from the diagram, we just come across the idea that where the upward force are going to be, where the upward force along with the normal force, there is another force which gets add up, which is nothing but the vertical force component, vertical component of applied force, which is nothing but F cos theta. So the upward force is going to be N pull plus F cos theta, which is equal to mg. But we need only the condition where normal force, because to find out the static frictional, maximum static frictional. So N pull will be just given with the formula of mg minus F cos theta, mg minus F cos theta. This is the condition what is just related over here. And from this equation number 3, we just come with the idea that the force what is applied to pull an object is going to be lesser, because if you just notice here, N pull is given with where the normal force which acts on the substance is going to be lesser on comparing with the condition of pulling, a kind of condition of pushing the object. So in the condition of pulling, the normal force which acts on the object is going to be lesser, mg minus F cos theta. In pushing, it is mg plus F cos theta, where the force is greater. Here the force is going to be lesser. So the condition can be just rewritten as with the formula F maximum of static maximum frictional can be just given with F of S maximum is equal to mu S mg minus F cos theta. So on comparing both the conditions, equation 3 and equation 1, we can just come with the idea that where the normal force what is acting on the substance to push is greater than N pull. So normal force which is applied to pull the object is lesser than the normal force which is applied to push the object. So that is the condition what has been just given over here. So from these two equations, equation 1 and 3, we just understand the condition. It is clear that it is always easier to pull an object than pushing it. So just think about the situation. Whenever most probably you just talk about train, or especially when you just talk about train or tractors which has been attached with the trailers. They do not use to push the compartment, or they do not push the trailer with the vehicle. But what they do, they used to pull the object. So it is, from that we just come with the idea that where instead of pushing, it is always easier to pull the substance. So the next topic what we are going to discuss is about angle of friction. So as we just know about friction is nothing but the opposing force what has been created against the relative motion of the object. So whenever the motion takes place, there will be always an opposing force which will be just created to stop the motion of the object or against the relative motion of the object. So here we are just going to talk about the condition which is called angle of friction. So angle of friction is nothing but it is defined as the angle between normal force and the resultant force, which is called as angle of friction. So here the resultant force is nothing but resultant force of normal force and the maximum frictional force. Resultant force is nothing but the addition of normal force and the maximum frictional force, which gives us resultant force. And the angle between the normal force and the resultant force is going to be called as angle of friction. So to just understand the scenario, we have just come with the diagram over here. If we just notice the diagram over here, so we can just understand F is nothing but the force what has been applied to pull the object. Here the object is being just pulled to move. So as we just discussed just now, where pulling is easier than pushing, where there is some amount of force has been acting on the substance to pull the object to move it, and there will be a normal force which will be acting perpendicular to the surface of the object, so which is N. And when the object is being pulled to move, there will be some amount of static frictional force will be experienced over there. And if the object begins to move, the static frictional force will be maximum. So there will be a maximal static frictional force which has been experienced by the substance due to contact between the surface and the object. And we just know that when, according to Newton's third law, when there is some force has been applied, there will be an equal and opposite force will be acting against it. So this equal and opposite force which is acting against the applied force is going to be nothing but the resultant force, is nothing but the resultant force. So the resultant force is mentioned with the symbol R vector, and R vector can be just given as the resultant vector can be just resultant force can be just given as n vector plus f of s maximum vector. So where it is nothing but the addition of the magnitude of resultant vector is going to be the addition of two vectors, which is normal vector and the static frictional force vector. So two forces, it has been addition. And theta is nothing but this is called as the angle of friction, which is the angle between the resultant force and the normal force. To understand this clearly, from the diagram, we just come with the result idea. The resultant force is given by. So if you just notice in the previous state in the diagram, we just came with the idea that here R vector, we just gave the idea that R vector is equal to n vector plus f of s maximum vector, which is nothing but the resultant force is equal to addition of normal force and the static frictional force. Addition of normal force and static frictional force. So here we just come with the idea of law of addition of vectors. We just come with the idea of law of addition of vectors. So based on law of addition of vectors, the magnitude of the resultant force can be just represented with R is equal to root of f of s maximum square plus n square, and direction can be just given with tan theta is equal to f of s maximum divided by n. So this is the condition what we just come across from the diagram, given diagram, from the situation. So which where we just came across two equations. So one is the magnitude of the resultant force, and another one is the direction of the resultant force. So the next thing, we just know from the frictional empirical relationship of static frictional force, when the object starts to slide or when the object begins to slide, we know the equation that f of s maximum will be equal to mu s into n, where the static frictional force will be maximum when the object starts to slide or begins to slide, which is equal to mu s n. So from this relationship, we just come with the idea that mu s will be equal to f of s divided by n. F of s and f of s maximum, I mean maximum static frictional by normal force. So that is given by equation number 3. So now we compare on by making a comparison with the equation number 2 and 3, substituting equation 3 in 2, where the equation can be just given as tan theta is equal to mu s. So in equation 2, if you just notice, the equation is written as tan theta is equal to f of s maximum divided by n. So on replacing the term, we just write mu s. So the tan theta is equal to mu s, which is nothing but the tangential of angle of friction is equal to the coefficient of static friction. That is the condition what is been just related in this state. So when you just talk about angle of friction, the angle of friction depends on the coefficient of static friction. This is the understanding what we just come across equation number 4, where the angle of friction depends on the coefficient of static friction. So in today's session, we have just discussed about the concept called push or pull, which is going to be easier to move an object. So when you just talk about this condition, we just come with the two scenarios of pushing an object as well as pulling an object. So where when you just talk about pushing or pulling, where there will be a frictional force will be just acting on the substance, which is called static frictional force, and that static frictional force is going to be equal to the mu s into n, where we just come with the idea of normal force what is acting on the substance due to push, which is mg plus f cos theta, and on pulling the substance we just come with the idea of normal force what is acting on the substance, which is equal to n pull, which is equal to mg minus f cos theta. So from this conclusion we just came with the idea that on just making a comparison between both the situations, n pull as well as n push, which is nothing but the normal force acting on the object while pushing as well as normal force what is acting on the substance while pulling, we just came with the idea that where the normal force what has been acting on the substance while pushing is greater than pulling, so that it becomes easier for us to understand that pulling an object is much easier than pushing an object. So that is the conclusion what we just come from the conditions what we just discussed today. And also we discussed about the concept called angle of friction, which is nothing but the angle between the normal force and the resultant force. The angle what is being just made between the normal force and the resultant force, which is called as angle of friction, which we are just going to we have seen in this content. And when you just talk about the resultant force, it is the addition of force about the normal force as well as the static frictional force what acts on the substance. So we just came with the conditions, and using the law of addition we just wrote the equations, two equations, which is magnitude of the resultant force as well as the direction of the resultant force has been just given over here in this condition. So from that we from the empirical relation of the frictional force, we just came with the formula of mu s is equal to f of s maximum by n, which has been just replaced in the second equation, where we just come with the final conclusion that the tan theta is equal to mu s, which is nothing but the angle of friction depends on the coefficient of static friction. So that is the condition what we have just seen in today's session. Hope you people just understand the concepts whatever we have just discussed today so far. Thank you all. Have a great day.